Hello, you beautiful parents and students. This is another episode of Uncle Code Review. Next time, Ash. Hello.
Hello, hello.
Hello, hello. How are
How
you?
are you?
I'm very good. I'm very good. Another episode of Uncle Code Review. So let's start it. So, who is the kid today, Ash?
All right, today, so we're gonna have one teenager student who
Oh,
joined
teenager.
way back in 2017. So that's 4 years ago.
Oh, well
Yes.
done. Awesome. So, what's the name?
So his name is Chitraksh. Now he's
Okay.
16 years old, and he
Okay.
joined back when he was
Ooh,
12.
I remembered him specifically. I
Yeah.
remembered him, and now, ooh, this is very
He is a monster now.
now he grow like woo, great. I remembered exactly like when he joined as baby Chitraksh, and now we can see teenager Chitraksh. Very good. Well
Yeah.
down. So we're gonna go through your code. We're gonna see what you've done, what they choose. They have to see it, and then let's see what we can do with your code. I'm gonna share my screen. Okay, so anything may sound wow, a lot of variables.
It's a obsessive use of variables.
Chitraksh.
I, about him. He's a very good programmer and he likes to design and to look into the problem into different ways. Yes,
Perfect.
that type
Perfect.
of logic is
Mm.
now it's a practice for the variables and apparently he put up all his variables to do all the different tasks with the same variables. So it made the job easy for himself. So it took all variables. So go to next task is easy. Just pick out the variables and cite it. So you can see because I see so many variables that no use in this code. Well, let's go through that.
Let me run the code. Let me run the code first. Okay, so we do have some. We can see around 5 lines of code. I mean, five, sorry, lines. And then here we can see an ocean of variables. It's a famous company name, Digital Ocean. It's a very, very famous company, one of those big giant cloud provider, Digital Ocean. So here you have variable ocean, and then I'm probably even you're gonna be really good into web development. You're gonna use DigitalOcean a lot because they let you to create virtual instance over the cloud. So now let me see what do we have here. Okay. So first line, Tom is there always and forever and ever, you Tom. So then speed and color is green. And length is 50, distance is 20, and C1 is a light blue, C2 is green, W is 5, angle is 360 divided by 3, 120. Okay, this should be one of those variables is not relevant to this task, Mesa.
Most probably.
I don't see any 120 here. Angle 2 is 360 divided by 4, so yeah, I'm definitely going to use this here. Radius, no radius in this code. Segment and segment 2, and side and load size and SH size. SH means you want to say short, huh? And then Tom changed colors to C1. So now you're using C1, right? Then you have a for loops count, which is in the range segment. Segments is 5, so I guess that's the 5 we have here. Let's try. Let's see, put the 3. Yes,
Okay.
and the 5 and this. And then there's another one is we have another loops. Okay, so as they say always, do not try to not use same variable for two listed loops. It will just give us some messed up thing. But if you're not using count, which you're not using in this code, so just make it on a line. Like who cares? Underline is who cares. Okay, so then come forward length. So you use length. Where's length? 50. Okay, and then pen up because you want to go back. So turn right angle to 90, and then forward distance. Or distance is the gap actually. Okay, and then another left 90, and then a backward, and again backward. Nice, I liked it. You'd use backward to not use another left and left. Nice. Because if you use the backward, you have to use forward, and then you have to left or right 180 degree. So that's a good way to do that. Okay, cool. I got your code. Let me see what I can do with the code. Here, you guys can see that it looks a little bit like getting thinner and thinner. You see that?
Okay. Yeah.
Thinner. This actually doesn't have anything with the code because you can see the code doesn't have any change in the width. This is not your fault. This is the way I route Python into browser. So let me make it like 1 pixel, make it a little bit slower, and then you will see that all these lines technically are the same. So it's a slow motion, very slow motion. It just helps you to be patient in your life. So when you 100 to the 1 pixel, you see, technically should be like this, but there is some issue in rendering when things get fast in a K Studio that led you to feel like that. It's not true actually. So if I make it 100, you will get a better way to do that. So you see, they all will be same line. It's a kind of line. It's going to be like that. Okay, so what I'm going to do now here is let's see what variables should I keep here. So I'm going to remove this. I'm going to remove this. I'm going to remove this. You know what? You
Oh,
see that
you remove C1 as well.
C1. I remove C1. Okay. So then, you know what? One of the things that we have here is I noticed that you're using angle 2 because probably you use in another code angle 1, and then what if you're going to use these variables? So this concept that you have to carry forward your variables to in each and every step eventually force you to create a lot of angle 1 and 2 and 3 and right. I think you face with this. But what if I told you that there is a solution, there is a structure to do that? You know what? You will learn that how you can create your some global variables that can be shared between all codes and modules. And also you learn that not necessarily you have to think like I should have global variables and then the codes itself. What if these two can emerge and mix to each other, as we call it object? These are the things that we talk about them in advanced level. But anyway, it's good that you do it. Technically, you have to do this to feel the necessity of a solution here. And then I'm gonna go to make this angle to angle. The radius, we don't need it here. So segments and sides, and I remove these stuff. So I'll just make the angle to angle and angle. So for now we have this. Okay, well down. You can maybe you can use a function to put everything in a function, and then use input parameters instead of creating global variable. You know, that's a better way to do that. That means, what if you create a function that, let's say, whatever you'd like to call this, maybe I'm gonna call it draw a stack. It looks like a Stack Overflow icon, and then and I get some parameters like length, like gap, like color, like I don't need to create the angle because the angle is fixed. And then you have the benefit of getting input variables, input parameters, and also in and all variables or private variables. For example, let's say I'm going to say that length, I want to say gap, I want to say color, and then I want to say segments, or I'll use the segments, you use segments. And then the side, okay, side is, okay, side, you mean how many times to repeat this, huh? Why use the side? Let me try the side, make it 2. Let's see what's gonna happen. We're gonna get a little bit more. So what if I, instead of this, I make it like 10? It will be the same things, right? So technically you don't need that nested loop because you remember that 5 and 2, if it's just like this, and you're not using this variable in any part of your code, can be replaced by 2 times 5. Okay, it's always like that. If you have 2 nested loop and you're not using the counter, the iterator variable of the loop within the body, so the body is not dependent on the round cycle, the body doesn't have the awareness, you can merge those 2 loops into 1 loops and works better actually. So here I can write for you that segment multiply side. So and you're gonna do the same thing. So you know that this is good to know that. And then back to my function. So you're just gonna write the repeat, how many times I want to repeat it. And then finally I'm gonna go and I back to this. So this will be the color. And then here will be the repeat, how many times to repeat. Length is there, and I will make this one gap. And because angle is definitely 90 degrees, so just gonna go for 90. Or because I am here, I can create this thing that you did here, but not in the global space. Global space make the space a little bit messy, so it's better we remove them all. And then here I'm gonna have the angle. Okay. So yeah, I mean, So now I'll call the function to draw stack with what was that, 100, right? 50, and then color is green, and then repeat 5 times. I think it was
Very
20.
good.
Okay. So then I have this kind of ability that we can play around with it. Let's make it orange. It looks more like a Stack Overflow. So uh,
Oh.
so now you have this. So you see how I removed those global variables. I just put them into this. These are considered local, and I created these angle variables inside. So it's encapsulated. It's a closure. Functions create a closure, and and my global space is clean. It's the way that we have to think and then design the code.
Okay, very
So yeah,
nice.
very nice. It's really cool. And then let me just give it a little bit of width to this. You can see it in a better way, I guess. Yeah, that's much better. So
Much more look like a
yeah,
Stack Overflow.
it's how Stagger Flow is like a 3 or 4. We have to look at the logo. I can't remember. So then, or let's make it 10. Okay. So yeah, that's all. And I think what, it's a very good habit that I will maybe do it sometimes. That means when I see a code and I see something radically in different way come to my mind, I may just show it. Okay, but that doesn't mean that your code is not good or is bad. No, always there are some kind of a little bit a geeky way to solve problem, and that's just a good thing to do that. So what I'm going to do, I'm just going to draw these 4 lines of code very fast, very fast, and let's see what I'm going to do for this to draw these 3 lines of code. I'm going to use some kind of techniques very quickly. Kiddos equal by total range 4. See what's going to happen.
Okay.
For kiddo in kiddos, kiddo. Say I'm just for now quickly. I want to run the green. I want to see if my idea works or not. The green the color should be green, and then I have to make the shape also. Call them Tom to save my time. So Tom green, shape is turtle, color is green, and then okay. So what I'm gonna do is, oh, I got it. Tom dot pen up, Tom dot go to 0, and then we do this. Enumerate, so kiddos, so go to an ix times 10,
Okay.
and then pen down. Okay, cool. Then I'm gonna ask Tom dot forward 100 for Tom in kiddos. Let's see if I'm gonna get an error or not. So let me do this. Tom dot tracer. Remember we talked about it. Tracer 0. Then I have to ask to update. So maybe one of these kiddos update would be enough because the string is connected to all of them. So, one more thing that I can do is let me just say, Tom. What was the?
We have one extra Tom at the top, which is you can comment it.
I can
Yeah,
remember.
that's the extra one that they didn't follow the pack.
Okay. You know what? Let me just show what is happening. Okay, let me just show what is happening. I just created a gang of toms. Okay, so I created 4 toms. This is least comprehension. So instantly in one line, I created 4 turtles, and then I did some initializations. I gave their shapes and colors and pen up and down. I go to 0, and ix is the counter 0, 30, and then 30, 0, 30, 60, and 90, and whatsoever we're gonna have. And then I again use these interesting techniques, which can be an answer for what I asked earlier to draw a score without in one line of code, and then that I give now the answer. So then you can do this list in Python execute whatever you put here. It's not just only a fixed value; it's an expression. So this expression is just does the forward. It doesn't return anything, but it does the forward. And then for all the kiddos within this, I did this tracer to avoid those totals. So just make it like ooh, it's just down. So if you just come in here, make it like a 10, you're gonna get this. So this is
So nice.
the way to do
I
that.
like it.
Okay,
Yeah.
so that's all. So one standard way, good way. The other one is some other ways that we need to think like that because it's going to be very helpful. So we're at the end, and we're going to say something very important to you,
Yeah.
Chitraksh.
which is very very important, and we are waiting for this from since 2017 till today to tell you this. And I think that's a very good day to tell you this finally. You know what? You are programmer.